Cameroon has been called l'Afrique en miniature, the miniature of Africa, because it combines all of the geographical features and climate zones found in Africa, as well as over 200 different tribal languages within one country. But it is not only about its diversity of terrains. Cameroon embodies a continental culture that is struggling to overcome boundaries that we have the privilege of forgetting. Hunger, disease, loss of a family, and a lack of perspective. One place in desperate need of hope is Casa, an orphanage located in the mountains of western Cameroon. Inspired by her father, who raised 20 orphans in addition to his 13 children, and by her experience as an orphan since the age of 9, Caroline Polastri co-founded the orphanage. For 10 years, Polastri has been directing efforts to find the country's neglected and abandoned children and to take them in.
The children come to our orphanage in various ways. The majority are outcasts, found on the doorstep in the morning by our orphanage caretakers. Other times, I hear of children in need from friends or once while traveling by bus. I visit the family with whom they are living and bring them to the orphanage. For example, I found Jordan, one of my children, in a family crying for me to take him. He said that he hadn't eaten. The family had food, so I asked the grandmother, "Can you give him something to eat?" She said no, he already ate on Monday. It was Wednesday already, meaning that Jordan probably received 1 meal a week. I asked if I could take him, and she told me yes. So, in some way or another, the children arrive at Casa. We focus on taking in children that are sick. Most orphanages take in children that are healthy. But I think children that lost their parents and are sick are in need of twice the help of healthy orphans. That is why we prioritize these children.
Without a perspective to receive federal funding, due to the sheer number of AIDS orphan children in Cameroon, this small, privately run orphanage is only able to ensure the bare survival for its kids. The children receive only 1 meal a day and shelter, while only one full-time aide cares for them. Education is an unaffordable luxury.
The greatest problems for the children are those of sanitation. The children live in terrible conditions. There is the problem of water. The children need to walk 1.5 hours to fetch the water and return. They use it for drinking, washing clothes, and themselves. It is full of bacteria and gives them stomach and health problems. There is the problem of education. My greatest wish is for the children to be able to go to school, to learn better French, and to receive an education. There is the electricity problem. The children have no light, and cooking is done on a fireplace with wood. The few children that do go to school cannot do their homework in the evenings without using lanterns. These have created eye problems for the children, and I recently needed an eye doctor to attend to them. There is also the problem of AIDS-infected children. There is not much we can do, and a large part of our budget goes to treating their symptoms. There are also parasites that live in the ground where the children live. There are no paved floors, so they are often infected by what we call chic, a sort of earth flea. They penetrate the toes or fingers and infect them. The risk is great that the children die from infection or develop leprosy. Food is a huge problem. At the moment, the children receive 1 meal a day. They are constantly sick and often need to go to the hospital, but we simply have no means to feed them 2 or 3 times a day, like other children in the world. I would also say that we have a shortage of caretakers. We have 24 sick children, and each child needs special care. We should need 5 or 6 people to take care of them, but we don't have the funds to hire that many caretakers.
With limited funds covering only the most basic needs, children have to work all day in order to support themselves.
At 4, the kids wake up and they go to Chang to work in the fields. They come back at 3:30. Sometimes there is not enough firewood or food, so after work they go out to fetch water, find food and gather wood, and return to eat only at 5:30. And that is their daily life.
It seems like a process bound to go on unbroken. With as little outlook on a future as for children who are orphaned, uneducated, and starving, what could possibly be done to fulfill their aspirations for a better life? For Catalina Bach, a 16-year-old high school junior from New Jersey, giving them motivation was the key.
All of the children at Casa des Anges have been through traumatic experiences in their lives. Nothing good has ever happened to them. Many of their parents have died or they've been abandoned. How can they be expected to believe that in the future their lives can change for the better? So what I wanted to do is I wanted to give them something that they will always remember, something to look forward to in the future and to give them hope and perspective in their lives.
After a community fundraising effort, Bach ventured to Cameroon with over 300 pounds of medical and educational supplies, shoes, toothbrushes, toys, and games.
The goal of my project was to ultimately improve the lives of the children at Casa des Anges and to show them that, there really is somebody out there that cares about them and that wants to help them. And I want them to jump that hurdle that they have in life and to make the best that they can out of the situation that they're in. So my greatest passion in life is dance, and it helps me, have a positive outlook, and it clears my head, and it's just my escape. And that I thought that by sharing my passion with the children of Casa des Anges, I would help them to develop their own passion, something that motivates them in life and keeps them going and excites them and helps them see the good, the positive side of things in their life and in the future.
For 3 weeks, she stayed with the children, engaging them in many ways and teaching them dance. The results spoke for themselves.
When I first arrived in Bafou, many of the kids were very quiet and extremely introverted, but once they got to know me and I explained to them why I was there and that I was really genuinely interested in how they were leading their lives, what they could teach me, how they were playing games, how they were dancing, what I could learn from them, they really started to open up. These were kids that had never interacted with others before. They began to dance and play and laugh and joke around. It was a really, really amazing and eye-opening experience for the children of Bafou as well as for myself. What I was really hoping to bring through from my dancing was to give them a feeling of, hey, there is something for me to be happy and excited about, and that's exactly what came to be.
Besides dancing, Bach also engaged in addressing the water problem at the orphanage. With a set of donated water filters, she hopes to provide Casa des Anges with clean, parasite-free water for the coming years. She also brought new shoes to protect the children's feet against dangerous ground parasites. A main aspect of her visit was also to address the children's education in French and English.
I think that the importance of education really cannot be emphasized enough, especially in a country such as Cameroon. The amount of schooling just automatically transfers itself into the life opportunities that the children will have. And without an education, the children will not be able to sustain themselves once they grow up or even have a future at all.
It is not expensive to send a child to school in Cameroon. Food isn't either. But without the help of the Cameroonian government, Casa des Anges is dependent upon their children's work to sustain their single meal a day. A few dollars can change a child's life. Are you willing to make a difference?
I discovered talent in these children that I had never seen before. I didn't know that they could sing and memorize the moves that Catalina taught them. I found new faces in the children that I take care of. They have the ability to pick up things, to adjust to things, to dance, and frankly, I never realized that they were capable of this. Belvira is a girl at my orphanage who never laughed, cried, or expressed any emotion at all in her life. One day, Catalina developed some games in which the children participated. For the first time in my life, I saw Belvira clapping her hands and smiling. That is something that had never happened before, despite everything we had tried in the past.
It was the most magical moment for me when Belvira, who had never before either smiled or cried, suddenly had that spark in her eye, and for the first time in her life, she took part in the dancing and games and actually enjoyed something. For me, that first smile alone was worth going to Cameroon for. I think that my trip helped to point out that every little bit can make a huge impact. When I went to Africa, I did not anticipate that interacting and having fun with the kids and just being interested in them and who they are could have such an impact. I cannot even tell you how much it means to me that I was able to impact the lives of this 5-year-old girl who was completely withdrawn and introverted, and helping her to open up and become somebody else and be able to give her future a chance. I, myself, am a different person because of that. I constantly ask myself, what else could be possible if I can change the life of a little girl just by doing what I love the most? Just imagine what could happen if the kids realize that people keep coming to visit them, keep being interested in them, and introducing them to things that they love, that they keep donating money to send them to school and feed them without them having to work all day for it, that there is hope to one day have their own clean bed to sleep in without being hungry. Just imagine what would happen if these kids would realize that if they get the chance to learn, they have a choice on how to live their lives. I guess it is up to us to find out.